Natasha Williams. And I believe she's present online. Mr. Mayor, you have the floor.
We have technical difficulties. Is there any way that we can allow the clerk to give us a box, get on the internet so we can get it to go with it? I'm not going to have to raise my hand.
We'll just do raising of hands, that's fine. Okay. And Mr. Clerk, if you will let me know if folks are in the queue for discussion that I cannot see. Before we begin, I just want to confirm, are these all of the documents that we have?
Yes, sir. There's one action item that the Economic Development Department has brought forward.
All right. I was under the impression that a portion of this meeting was to get an update on the millions of dollars of URA projects that we have before we continue, or as part of our budget process. Did you want to speak on that?
Yeah, I'm not aware of other items. I'll just have to defer to City Manager.
Madam City Manager.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. The only agenda item that was set for this meeting was related to economic development. There was not a presentation regarding current URA projects scheduled for today.
All right, that was. I'm a little concerned with that. Yeah, that was one of the things that I asked about when we were planning this meeting. So we have $5.7 million in projects for our URA. When in our budget process might we get an update on what the status of those projects are and the completion date of those projects?
We can do that.
There's a little short, but I think it's still, we might just have to speak up.
We can do that on Thursday when we have Public Works presentation, but we did have a URA presentation, I believe it was in May, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, so I would just ask that we be ready when we do the Public Works, because I know some things have changed, namely how we will be handling our Public Works, as well as the price of materials and labor. I was at a meeting with the Georgia Department of Transportation, and they are having to revise their project lists based on inflation costs and labor materials costs. So I just want to make sure that, I don't even know if we're going to be on track or not, because we had some facilities that were supposed to be open. I just want to, and at our last meeting in May, we did not get a date. So I'm hoping that at our meeting on Thursday that we might have a date for when those facilities might actually open. Dr. Rao?
I just want to remind the entire council that the city manager and the public works director sent out a memo last week to give a status on all the URA projects. And I think for the benefit of the public, and I concur with the mayor, they can give a brief presentation of what's in that report that we all received. And if you have questions, of course, the director will have.
Are you ready to give that report now?
No, we are saying it's not on agenda, but as she said, we can address it Thursday.
All right.
Right.
Okay, so you'll be ready on Thursday? Thank you.
But if I need to resend that memo, I'll resend it.
I would just like a presentation on the record for our public. Thank you. All right, I
think Mrs. Willis' hand is up.
All right, Councilman Willis.
Yes, Mayor, with all due respect, it's 3:38. We advertised that we're going to have a meeting to request approval of the resolution of the City of South Fulton for the Urban Redevelopment Authority. If it's possible, can we please get on with the business that's at hand?
Councilman Willis, we are doing exactly that. Did you have a motion?
I move that we open the URA meeting, and entertain the item that's on the agenda. You would need to call the meeting to order. I didn't call the meeting to order.
Did we do the roll call vote?
We did do the roll call.
Okay, so are we in the meeting now? Do we need to do anything else?
To be formal, you can call the meeting to order.
Okay, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, and I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, there's a memorandum in your folders, and also Mr. Jones is here, and I would like to sound the item before you prior to any presentation.
Knock it out.
Okay, this is a request approval of a resolution by the City of South Fulton Urban Redevelopment Agency to modify the geographical boundaries of the City of South Fulton Urban Redevelopment Plan by adding Fulton Industrial Boulevard as an urban redevelopment area and for other purposes. Mr. Jones?
Mr. Jones?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Urban Redevelopment Agency Board of Directors. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to come before you this afternoon. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. I'd like to thank everyone for the opportunity to come before you this afternoon to talk to you about the Urban Redevelopment Plan. As you know, the City of South Fulton has an Urban Redevelopment Plan that was actually approved June 19, 2019. And that URP authorizes the City of South Fulton to designate certain areas of the community for certain redevelopment powers. Currently, there are 13 projects in the current URP, and this is an additional, this is adding one additional project to the URP. It's going to be referred to as URA 14, Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Over the last year, the City of South Fulton has had the opportunity to annex additional property into the City of South Fulton, the Fulton Industrial Development Boulevard. And as within that particular area, there are certain areas that require redevelopment, and this particular area also is eligible for redevelopment powers if it is a part of the redevelopment plan. On this evening, if this particular URP is adopted on August 16th, the next time this particular item will be brought before the City Council on September 27th, 2022, for formal approval by Mayor and Council. Our goal is to take this to adopt this URA 14 as a part of the redevelopment plan, and to be able to complete an application with the Georgia Department of Community Affairs to add this particular area as an opportunity zone. The opportunity zone, what will happen with this particular area being a part of the opportunity zone, instead of 15 jobs having to be created to get a $3,500 per job credit, you only have to create 2 jobs. Also, within, right now, within this particular area, only certain types of businesses are eligible to be counted towards the opportunity zone. With this expansion, all jobs within this, all legal businesses within this area will be able to count towards jobs. And then, of course, $3,500 per job tax credit will be available to businesses, which does not affect the City of South Fulton's budget. This is a state income tax credit, and the state income tax credit can be realized for 5 years by the businesses that actually complete the application. Our goal is to have this particular application through DCA actually submitted and approved prior to the end of this calendar year. And if it is approved by this calendar year, on next year, businesses filing their income tax will be able to take advantage of the $3,500 per job tax credit. I'm here to entertain any questions that you might have at this time.
All right, I see Councilwoman Willis in the queue.
Just a quick question. This area hasn't been identified to be a part of the TAD, has it?
No, ma'am.
Okay, good, okay. And so, just for education, I'm very familiar with opportunity zones and empowerment zones and renewal job credits. But just for the edification of the public, what made this particular, and I do know that these credits are industry specific, but what made this particular area prime for the opportunity zone credit? We don't want the whole city in the opportunity zone, but there are certain areas that would be good. I know that it doesn't have a lot of retail, it's industrial, and usually retail don't qualify for a lot of stuff because people know retail is coming. So what made this area prime for this?
Well, within this area, especially this area that's being added as a part of the redevelopment plan, there's a significant amount of property that's underutilized right now. There's certain properties that actually needs to be demolished and torn down. There's a lot of property in this area that's actually owned by the county, Fulton County Development Authority. And we are being able to have this as a part of the opportunity zone will encourage employers to want to locate in this area, to take over, invest in these properties, bring them back up, create additional jobs, and kind of removal of slum and blight also. In this particular area also, there's a great number, there was a lot of crime at one time. I'm not sure if it's like that now, but there's a lot of ignoble impulses in the area, and with the redevelopment of this area, it would remove a lot of the crime, a lot of the negative things, the blight that's in this area.
Okay, follow up. Is this considered the first read, or do we have to vote on this resolution today?
Well, we would like to vote on this resolution today, and if there are any adjustments or changes, any minor changes, the assistant city attorney and I can make those necessary changes if the URA was open to.
Okay, I move that we approve this measure.
We don't have a resolution though. It's for something else.
What now?
Do we have a resolution?
Yes, ma'am.
This is it?
That's it.
Okay, so this is.
Yeah, the resolution
I
should be 2 pages.
move that we approve the request for the request for approval of resolution by the City of South Fulton Redevelopment Agency to modify the geographical boundaries of the City of South Fulton Urban Redevelopment Plan by adding Fulton Industrial Boulevard as an urban redevelopment area and for other purposes.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. I did see discussion from you, Mr. Sebastian. All right. Is there Councilwoman Rao?
Just to give additional insight, for those previously when we did the URA, of course, Fulton Industrial was not in our city's footprint. And this is primarily at I-20 and Fulton Industrial. So as you know, we've been working with the Development Authority of Fulton County and Fulton County, who owns a lot of this. Many of these hotels that were previously there are now closed. There's only one remaining in the footprint of our city along Fulton Industrial. So there has been a conscious effort working with the county to take a hold of this area. So I think this is a great move for our city.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Anyone online, Mr. Adams?
No, sir.
All right, please call the vote.
It's a motion to approve. Roll call. Councilmember Rao.
Yes.
Councilmember Gumbs.
Yes.
Councilmember Willis.
Yes.
Councilmember Sebastian.
Yes.
And Councilmember Williams. Is that yes? In the chat? Thank you.
All right, thank you. I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn.
So move.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote. Councilmember Rao.
Yes.
Councilmember Gumbs.
Yes.
Councilmember Willis.
Yes.
Councilmember Sebastian.
Yes.
Councilmember Williams.
Yes.
Thank you. We adjourned at 3:47 p.m.
Remind them we have another meeting.
The next meeting, which is a special call meeting, will begin at 4 p.m.